Hey everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Casey. Today we are going to be making mini apple crisps. Now we are making this because it is one of my favorite things to have around Thanksgiving time. My mom always made apple crisps. So since we're in the month of November, coming up on Thanksgiving, we are gonna make a little mini apple crisp. What's fun about this is that you guys can get a couple of these dishes of like little mini pie dishes, or you can get like ramekins. You can even make them in a muffin tin if you really wanted to. They're just gonna need to be scooped out whenever you're done. But I'm gonna make it in a little mini pie dish, and this is what we're gonna use for it today. So what we wanna start with is we wanna make the crumble. This is the one that I have finished. Basically, all you have to do is put a half a cup of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of old-fashioned oats, and you want to put in about a little over a third of a cup of light brown sugar. And then I would say about a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon. Mix it all together real quick, and then stick half a stick of butter, cold, slice it up, put it in there and just kind of mesh it all together with your fingers. I think it's way more fun when you do it with your fingers than if you use a fork. And I think it combines a little bit better when you do it with your fingers instead of a fork. So if you want to do it with your fingers, just make sure you wash your hands first. So this is the one I did earlier, and it's all good and combined, and it's all crumbly now. And it's gonna taste really delicious. So then what we want to do for our filling is we're gonna take an apple. I would say, depending on the dish that you're using, you can use, this dish will take about a whole apple, but you can, if you want to, spread it out across some smaller dishes. So you'll probably want to get like 4 or 5 apples if you're doing it for your whole family. And then I'm just going to slice up my apple just like this. And kids, please let your parents slice up the apple with the sharp knife. So then what I really want to do is I'm going to make these into slices that are easier to get the skin off of. You can keep the skin on if you really want to. That's totally up to you. I'm going to do it without the skin. And basically I just take the knife and I kind of glide it over the top like that. Now you guys can get a peeler if you want to, and you can peel the skin off. It's really not a complicated thing. And then I make them into little slivers. So I cut it in half, and then I slice it up like this and toss them into a bowl. So here's a half, slice, slice, boop. And again, if you want to keep it with the skin on, that's completely okay. So I'll show you. You can just slice it up just like that. Just cut them into chunks. They don't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to look the same. I mean, as long as they're roughly, the same thickness and size, that's cool. So it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. You don't have to stress about it being done a specific way. You can even get a different type of apple if you want to. That's okay too. So if you want chunks, you can do chunks. If you want slivers, you can do slivers. So once you get the whole apple combined, what you want to do is you're going to take all of these apples and you're going to sprinkle some lemon juice on top of them. And what you're going to do with that is you're just going to kind of shake it up and coat all of the apples in that lemon juice. And what that's going to do is make the cinnamon sugar mixture that I'm going to put on top stick to the apples really well. And then, so I would say with 1 apple, you probably would use about a teaspoon and a half of the lemon juice on the apples.
And then you can add all your cinnamon sugar on there. You can measure it out if you really want to. Personally, I like to just freehand it because it's gonna taste good either way. That's my opinion. Just don't go too heavy-handed on the cinnamon. Bloop, bloop. Okay, last little bit. Da-dun-da-da. The other reason I usually, this one did not come off very well. I usually like to peel it is because I feel like the cinnamon sugar sticks to it a little bit better whenever it's all off. But either way, so now we have some apples, and you want to put about a teaspoon and a half worth of lemon juice. Shake it up. I have some leftovers from earlier. And I'm going to take this teaspoon, tablespoon, regular spoon, and I'm gonna throw in some brown sugar and throw in some brown sugar. And lastly, I'm gonna take my ground cinnamon and I'm gonna sprinkle it. Boop, 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 like that. And kind of mix, and then I like to toss. I just feel like it coats it better. It gets a little bit more evenly distributed. And then this I already sprayed with some pan spray, so make sure you grease it first. And get your apple all spread out. Just like that. And then we're going to take our lovely crumbly topping and we're going to sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm going to get it as covered as I can. Cool. Stay. All right, then you're going to bake it at 375 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes. When it's done, you're going to take it out of the oven. Where it is. And you'll have this beautiful apple crisp. I would normally eat this, but it's really hot, so I'm not going to eat it right now. But I promise you, it's delicious. I hope you guys enjoy this. Have a wonderful day.